Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. We're going to get started here in a little bit. So if everyone wants to grab a seat or stand if we have to. So my name is Sean, and I work here at Reynolds-Jonkhoff Funeral Home. I'm appreciative, and I know that everybody here is of everybody who has come. We are live streaming the service as well at rjfh.tv, in case if anybody's wondering. Service is also going to be recorded and then posted onto our website for those who are unable to stream. So what I do ask is anybody who would like to share memories about Mike, please, I know it's hard, but if you could come up to the mic, that way the live stream can catch what you're saying. You do not have to wear a mask when you're talking into the mic, but I ask that you kindly, come up, take your mask off, share your words, and then put your mask back on. So I'd like Sherry to come up, and she's going to start our sharing. And like I said, whoever feels like they want to say something about Mike, you're welcome to, okay? So Sherry, if you'd like to come up.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and helping us to celebrate Michael's life. We all loved him. I mean, he was the best brother anybody could have, the best son, the best co-worker. He would give anything for anybody, and I think we've all experienced that. He had such a passion for life. He just loved to have fun, and I think we've all had a lot of fun with Michael. Just such a passionate personality. I know we're all struggling, and it's extremely hard for us to understand the pain that he was going through and how he hid it so well. But I think he would want us to remember the good times that we had with him. I'm going to try my best not to cry, and I just want us to tell the funny Mike stories. I think there's not a person that doesn't have a Michael story. So I'm hoping that you'll share some of those with us today. I guess, my favorite time that I'll always remember Michael and miss him the most is in the summer. He just loved the month of July. He would boat, fish, party, kayak, whatever. But every year he always planned a family kayaking trip for us. And it was so much fun. We did it every year. He would always take a break from his busy socializing schedule to do a family thing, and I know that was a big thing for him because he had every minute always planned the month of July. I'm just going to miss him tremendously, as we all are. I guess that's really all I wanted to say, and thank you for being here. Would Lauren or would you like to say something, or does someone else want to share a story first? Any of you?
I'm gonna wait until other people do.
Okay. Anybody else want to share a story? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Ketcher. Like many of us here today, Mike Martin was a valued friend. to his family, children, relatives, and loved ones, I extend my sincere sympathy for their loss. All of us can say Mike was a special person that cared for people genuinely. I'm sorry. He would always go out of his way to help people in need without hesitation or delay. He was an outstanding husband, father, son, and brother. He was the type of person that one could always depend on. A friend without an agenda, but a person that put other people first. A true, unselfish friend. What more of a legacy could one want out of life? Being such a friend will make it difficult for all of us to miss him. He was loved by many and hated by none. And so today, as we say goodbye to Mike in the physical world, let us not forget his kindness, love, and memories, and spirit that will remain with us forever. A true friend is hard to come by, and even harder to keep. Goodbye, Mike. You're a good friend to us all. We'll miss you, but never forget you and the joy that you brought into all of our lives. Thank you.
While we're waiting for the next person, I'll say one more thing, sorry, that I had forgotten to say. So the Michael, he always thinks of others first. It is always helping people. And, the night he left, he came over and made sure that he, emptied out his freezer and brought the food in his freezer over to my mom. And he had taken the prop off my boat, took it to get it all fixed and polished, whatever, and made sure that he brought it over and put it on my boat. I mean, just tries to take care of everybody, and he was thinking of those things before he left. That's just who he was. But sorry, someone else's turn, but I just wanted to say that while we're waiting for the next person who wants to come up. Beth?
I was just talking to somebody about the challenge of glasses, masks, and then I said, just add hearing aids. That makes it. My name is Beth. I am married to Mike's dad. And Mike lived in our lower level when he would take leave from the Air Force and when he got out of the Air Force and he was going to NMC. And he was had to choose an elective at college. And I don't know how many of you have had debates with Michael. Our conversations where he processed information by taking the other side. So he chose philosophy. And I was like, really, Mike? Philosophy? And he and I had so many conversations, debates, and sometimes close to arguments about philosophical issues, ethical issues, and afterlife issues. And I was talking with his brother about this the other day, and Kurt said, And now Mike has all the answers. And he does. And I wish I could have one more conversation. So the next time you're in a situation, don't be afraid to debate it, talk it, discuss it. He certainly never was afraid to do that. It's a good lesson for all of us to keep it up. So anytime I have one, I will say, you know what Mike would have said here, you know how he would have reacted. So that's one of the memories I'm going to hold most dear, are all those conversations that we had. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody's got to have a funny Mike story. There we go.
All right, it's a little off the cuff, but my name's Chris McMahon. Worked with Mike going on 25 years at the post office. I don't know, first got in, I was in the military, he's in the military. I asked him questions. I asked him, what's a biologist doing working at work? Well, his energy level was crazy. The man could fish like crazy. Just good friend, as I've said many times. Selfless, he's helped me on many occasions. Never asked for anything in return. Just, I don't know, he's going to be missed. His energy level at work was incredible. He'd literally run from one spot to the next. Just go, go, go. I built a barn a couple summers back, and of course he's up on top of it, putting screws in. He's the only one to climb up there. But he's a good friend. Unfortunately, he leaves a lot of questions. But he's in a much better place now. So, and they say, but time does heal. Gets better. Talk. Argue with him. Whatever you got to do. But talk to your family. Keep them close. Remember the good parts. There's lots of them. So just can't remember anything bad. So remember that part. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike's niece, Jordan. Unlike my mother, I'll probably start crying, so bear with me. You might recognize me from several of the photos where I am somewhere in the air next to Mike's body, on his shoulders, being thrown up in the air, riding horseback around the living room. Mike brought a lot of play and energy and joy to our family, and that's definitely going to be missed. And he took such good care of my family. Every single one of my family will miss that, and I will miss that for them. And I'm really sad about that. But I do want to tell a funny Mike story. And this is a very, very recent Mike story. He doesn't even know this one. He might. So, as we just mentioned, Mike ran everywhere with all of his energy. If he had to get somewhere, he was absolutely jogging to and from. So when Mike's, you guys are probably okay if I tell this, when Mike came here to the funeral home, that was the night that we had that big storm. And the funeral home got struck by lightning and set on fire. And it was the day that he got here. So our family joke is that he wanted to get somewhere. He wanted to move the process along. He wanted to run to the next spot, expedite that cremation. So he is wherever he was trying to go now. And I know that that's a good place, and we will miss him very much. So thank you all for coming here to celebrate his life. And we really do want those funny stories. We've been standing around our kitchen the last couple of weeks laughing, talking about Mike. So if anyone can share any of those stories, we could definitely use that laughter right now. So thank you.
You're gonna go first. You okay? You can go first. Hi, I'm Andrea. Me and Mike were married for 11 years. Thought you could do this. A funny story I have is we were on Torch Lake all day. You go through the river. We came back, dark time, no lights. We got off track, get stuck in the stumps, and I was kind of getting like up, worried or whatever. And he kept telling me, "Don't worry, Andrew. I'll just push the button." Come to find out, get back to the dock, there was no button. He was just telling me so I wouldn't worry, and yeah. It's a lot of memories.
I'm Lauren. I'm his daughter. He adopted me in 6th grade. I don't have any funny stories right now. I might have to come back up. But I just wanted to thank everyone for being here, because he does love everyone in this room that he doesn't. And I just know that I remember playing sports and I'd start crying because he played hard on me. He made me push harder all the time. And I don't really know what to say right now, but I probably will come back up with a funny story.
Hi guys. I have a funny story. I think we all have a funny story, but this one, if anyone was ever with Mike during Cherry Festival or any time you guys were boating, especially when the kids were around, you guys saw this one. So Lauren and I would be in the boat all day, you know, and he tried to help us and try to laugh with us, and he'd take a pine cone and he'd hide it. He'd be like, I gotta go. And he'd clench his butt cheeks and he's like, I gotta poop. And then next thing you know, poof, there it is. And we would laugh forever and ever. And I think that was the funniest childhood memory I have. And so, I mean, to have him, you know, be the one, it's just, it's gonna live on forever. And I remember the last time I saw Mike, he was going out ice fishing. I think it was like 7:30 in the morning, and he was running around. He's like, I'm late. He said, I'm late. He's like, I'm ready to go. And he was going through all this stuff, and Mike had so much energy, and he was always there for us kids whenever we were down, and he always just liked to play jokes. And I think Lauren and I, we had a lot of fun, no matter what we were doing. You know, he always just made things fun, and you know, we're gonna miss
I got
it.
a story.
Oh, we got more.
So,
we got plenty of
me and
stories.
Aspen, when we were younger, wanted to make a YouTube video. So, we were like, Dad, will you record us? And it was really stupid, but we were spraying each other with a hose for some reason, and
We were like,
he was encouraging it the whole time.
It was like we had a whole video, we had a movie, and we were like, fill a brother up.
It was really funny.
Oh my goodness, I wish we still had those because they would have went viral. They were just.
You guys would laugh.
They were
My dad was in the background cheering it on, and it made no sense.
No, we loved it though. We loved Mike, and I know we used to go fishing, and Lauren wasn't a big. She just held her first fish. What was it?
Like, yeah, hard to believe, you guys. My dad's a big fisherman. I didn't hold a fish until I was like 17. And
Yeah.
my dad was sitting there telling
Yeah.
me, come on, hold it. Or I wouldn't even take the fish off the hook. My dad would always give me crap for it.
And she found those pictures, and we got them now. We got
I just
proof.
like reeling the fish in. My dad can eat it, keep it. He would too.
But
I can't think of other ones. There's so many.
there's so many, but some of these are just. We're gonna have to meet in the parking lot. Afterward.
Wait, what about the? No. Maybe. That was good.
Smitty. I just got a check and they tried to pay me off, but it wasn't from Mike, from someone else, not to share stories. But I'm kidding. Where to start? I met Mikey back in 2020. It was the best summer I've had in my whole life. No, 2000. Yeah, back in 2000. Known him for 20 years. This year sucks. But yeah, like we said, Mike he'd take that whole month of July off, and we'd congregate at his house, and almost every night there was a get-together. On the weeknight and the weekdays, I mean, I can imagine he wasn't even home yet, and me and Hudson, call him Sven, were sitting there waiting for Mike to get home. You know? He always had a place to go camping. He'd find the strangest things out in the woods, and it's a big get-together. Wow, Mike, how'd you find this? And it's a good time, and just outrageous stuff happened. I can't really, it's... I shouldn't get into that. Well, okay, there's a guy named Joey Renendez, and I'd never seen that guy in his life, and we're just hollering at him. Next thing you know, he just whips down his pants and moons us. And yeah, I think Carrie was there at that little get-together. They did a big they grilled a pork, pig roast. And then they had a horseshoe tournament and whatnot, but it was I'll just never forget that. But more stories about Mike. Like I said, Mike would always like to do these road trips, and actually, I didn't see him here. One road trip we did was to Gaylord, and that's how his good friend Kevin Dexter met Sunshine. But that's another road trip where he was kind of a Cupid in a way too, But there was a time I had a buddy in Ellsworth invited up to the bar, and there was a band there, and Mikey came with us, and we're all kind of split up playing pool, and I think I was sitting there playing pool, and I just seen this flash go by. What the hell was that? And then my buddy Mern come get me. We gotta go. It was Mikey. Mikey was hitting on some biker chicks, and he came at her, and Mikey was out of there. He's one of the only guys I know that buys an old trailer at a rodeo, Those were the days, too. If you guys remember back in 2000, Mikey had that big Suburban, and we called it the party bus. I remember one day, I don't know if he did it out of spite or actually truly meant it to say hi, but we all partied in it, and we had the boat hooked to it, and that's how we all got down to the bay. And we went by the fire barn there on, I think it's 8th Street, and Travis Gideon was in jail at the time, but he had work release, was washing the fire trucks. And Mikey, we wanted to stop by and say hi again. I don't know, it was despite him or actually truly say hi. But no, we did drop off some supplies to him. He put in his pockets he wasn't supposed to have. And then there's he had that hot tub, the old hot tub parties. Can't go into those stories either. I remember Mike though always want to get to the bay and we gotta go pick up some chicks. We gotta go see some chicks. There's always in his boat and if I hear stories. I never really went to he'd go to the wine festival in Leland, and people complain they come back they're all bruised and whatnot from riding in his boat because he took you for a ride. And just boating. If you needed a ride or something. You'd call, or Mike could be there, or you'd call, and Mike would go pick him up for you or drop you off. It wasn't a big deal. He was always there boating, and we always got a kick out of it. I won't get into that story. I won't get into that one. But should I share that one I shared? Yeah, I'll share that one I shared earlier with you. Back in that summer of 2000, I had my own lawn care business, and this is pre any girlfriends here right now, okay? So he had gotten this girl, and took her to his room, and I found out about it, and I went and grabbed one of my backpack blowers, started it up on the deck. I bust into the room and I start blowing him. He runs out of the room. He starts laughing. He says, "Thanks a lot, Spitty." I guess they should have done that. But Mikey's known for his Halloween parties. And if you know Mikey, he was, and I'm not blaming him, but he was kind of on the cheaper side. You go to his bathroom, and he'd have all the lights there, but only a couple are screwed in working, But can you believe it? Mikey paid out of his own pocket for the first prize of Halloween. Who won it? I think it was like $25 or something. One of his popular ones I remember was he was Gilligan, and he made a good Popeye. Heck of a Popeye, but yeah, I'm gonna miss old Mikey. I'm gonna miss his hot dog soup, and his overpriced eggs. Like $4 a dozen or something, organic. But yeah, I'm gonna miss Mikey. He was a good friend of mine. Like everyone says, he would do anything for you. All you had to do was call him. And he's going to be truly missed. He was, as we all know, he was a great friend of us. All right. To you, Mike. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we forgot to bring the, what was it, Bush Natural or something?
Anything cheap.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, so in high school.
Go up.
In high school, Michael used to, and actually probably past high school, used to carry in his car, and it's been a while since they've made this, I think, generic beer. Has anybody heard of generic beer? He would carry it in his trunk warm. Anytime, a situation came up where he needed beer, he'd just pop it out of his trunk, didn't care if it was warm or not. Oh yeah, on the boat, yeah. So we forgot to bring some today.
Smitty's got warm beer.
Oh wait, okay, didn't mean to offend anybody who drinks warm generic beer.
Hello. Mike was my brother-in-law. Andrew is my sister. I have a lot of funny stories with Mike. The first one is when me and Deidre here were babysitting, and they come home. We were babysitting Lauren, and they come home. He's like, "Get up, Shauna, get up, Deidre, wake up," like all excited. Then he proposed to Andrea, and Andrea's like, "What? No way!" Like she couldn't believe it. It was so funny though. We didn't want to get up. It was in the middle of the night. We were sleeping. But another funny story is one time we were out on the boat and we were tubing. It was the first time I've ever been tubing. And Mike dumped me so hard. Deidre, got out of the boat. She's like, "Are you okay?" I thought I broke my neck. But I vowed never to go tubing ever again, and I haven't yet. I don't think I ever will. It scared me so bad. But I truly love Mike, He's done a lot for me in my life. Just a lot of things. I lived with them so many times. Even when I didn't live with them, I lived with them. I was always there sleeping on the couch or in their spare bedroom. And he took my old cat, Techno, and renamed it Lucky. And
Lucky's.
And yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy way that you got it, but we won't go there. But I truly love Mike, I just can't believe it, and I'm just gonna miss him. I know I could call Mike anytime, and he's just such a good friend. Everybody here knows that, and
Yeah. All right.
thank you.
Wait, stay up here with me.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna, I was just stepping to the side.
I'm Deidre. I'm Andrea's cousin. My daughter Aspen already took my funny favorite story about Mike with the boating and the pine cone and stuff. But so many, I don't know, there's too many. I can't even think of any right now. But, you know, he was a good friend of mine. He walked me down the aisle at my wedding. And just like everyone else, I just love him and I'm going to miss him. And, yeah, thank you. I'm short and sweet.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so most people probably don't know who I am. I'm Em's niece, Mike's fiance, who lives currently in the Philippines still. She can't be here, unfortunately. She really does wish that she could. Unfortunately, her visa has recently expired, and with COVID and everything, she can't make it to the U.S. But she did want me to say a few words in behalf of her. When she did meet him, personally, as her niece, I saw just part of her that, I've never seen before. Mike always came to the house, and he immediately became family. I would come home from school, and they would all just be sitting around the table, always eating something, and he would always be willing to try our different foods. Being Asian, we do eat some pretty weird stuff, and he was always down to try it, which was always surprising to me because he really just appreciated her, and it really did show me what true love is. As a 17-year-old, you grow up and you see a lot of things happen in the world, and they focused on each other for the time that they had with each other. She does want me to say that she did really love him. She will continue to love him. She brought out a side in her that she didn't think was really possible. She has always wanted to come back, and when he told us that he wanted to marry her, it wasn't really a shock to any of us. He was very adamant about it. He kind of told my mom, so Em's sister, and he was like, yeah, I need to marry her, like right now. Where's the paperwork? Like, where do I sign? And we were like, wait, it's a process. It's gonna take a bit. And he's like, when I'll just go there now. I'll get on a cruise ship. Let's go. And I've always looked up to that. Ever since she found out, I remember the night she texted me. My mom was at work, and immediately my heart just tore for her. She doesn't know what to say at this point, besides that he will always be that one special person to her. And you can meet as many people as you would like, and there'll always be that one person that you will probably always fall in love with, and you won't be able to look at anyone else the same way. He made her do a lot of weird, shit. She was always on a cruise ship, watching kids, what she loved to do. And, he put her on a boat other than a cruise ship, and that was funny as hell. She'll always remember his memories, and despite not being here in person, she will always want to be part of the family, especially if she does come back soon, and that she'll always be here for anyone, especially because we all loved him. That's it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Herbin. Mikey and I were roommates for a few years, and we were supposed to roll together and fish and hunt. But I do have a couple funny Mikey stories. Actually, a lot of funny Michael stories. But we first started living together, and he moved into my house. He was in your basement and moved out to live with me. And it was hunting season. And Mike came home, and he was so excited, like he was with everything. He says, I finally did it. I did it. I got a deer with my bow. I said, where is it? It's outside. So I go outside, and he's got the red Cavalier. There's no deer. I said, where is it? Well, it's in my trunk. It was about this big. And he was so excited. His car never smelled the same ever again after that. And the way he gets excited, the other time I remember, we were bird hunting, and we bird hunted quite a bit. And 2 grouse went up, and I shot one, and he shot the other. And he looked at me, and he just screamed, double, double, double! Well, his started to move. So he runs over there, and he goes, what do I do? What do I do? I said, well, just grab it and break its neck. Well, he grabs it and goes like that, and the body flies out, and he's holding the head, and then he screamed like a little girl. The excitement he had for everything was like that. And the last one is his boat. We were living together, and he came home, and he said, you know, I was driving down the road, and something made me pull over into that boat dealership. And I bought a boat. Now, keep in mind, he didn't have a house. I said, you did? How much was it? He goes, well, no payments till fall. Okay, well, how much was the boat? Starting this fall, it's $166 a month. Now, you guys know how cheap Mike was. For him to buy something and not how much it costs was crazy. So we pulled it up. He says, oh, this payment's for 12 years. And he's had that boat, what, 20 years now? Yeah. Worth every penny. But we're going to miss him.
Hi, I'm Catherine Brawley. I was known as Pineapple at work. Mikey was my coworker. Speaking of the Halloween parties, I remember a couple of years back he was a pimp. And, you know, I would help him for the parties. And so we're like, Mikey, how are you going to go to the bathroom? And he goes, well, you know, if I got to go, I'll come and see you. And then you just unzip me, and then I'll go. So every time he had to go to the bathroom, it was like, we'd huddle, okay, I'll get that zipper off for you. And just, he was so much fun. And anytime I needed help at work, he was always there. I remember this summer, well, it was August, September, I ordered a whole bunch of gravel. And I was telling him, God, if you want to come help me, you can help me shovel it, because I was doing landscaping in my yard. And he's like, yeah, I'll come over and help you. Just tell me, just tell me when you need me. So he was just so helpful for everybody. He always thought of everybody else. And, even though he was short, to me, Mikey was a giant. He was a giant because he gave so much to everybody. And when I first started getting to know him at work, I broke my knee and I had this chair that I had to have. So everybody would hide my chair, and I'd always go looking for it. Well, one time, Cheryl and one of the other girls had talked him into hiding it up. They had these big shelves, I couldn't reach it. Well, they talked him into putting it up on the top of the shelf. So I'm looking all over for it, and then I see it way up there, and Mikey had climbed up there like a monkey and put it there. Well, and I did have to have somebody else come and get it because he wouldn't admit to it at first. But speaking of the running, he was always running, and run into work, run out of work, and I'd tease him about that. And then one time I was at a Menards, and I see somebody out of the corner of my eye running out of the store, and I'm like, that's Mike. Well, I got him another time, at Home Depot, running out of the store. Like, well, I would tease him, and it always made me laugh thinking about that. And just, I know he'll be very missed by me, and as well as his family. He was a great guy. You couldn't ask for a better person in his life. I thought it was going to be okay to step here, but I'm Carrie. And he was my best friend for 30 years. Like Mike Herman said, I thought I'd grow old with him. One of the buildings behind his house I had planned already into my old lady apartment. But he said I had to wait till I was at least 80. But I have so many memories. We used to go to JR's every Thursday for college night. And then they used to put flyers on your windshield for parties that weekend. We went to every one of them, all over this northern Michigan. It didn't matter where it was, who put that flyer on it. We never knew till after the next morning, waking up on someone's yard. We just always had the best time. And one thing Mike always did, I don't know if anyone else ever caught it, he always scratched his arm when he was thinking. This is what he did. And we were meeting out at the rodeo. He got out there before I did, and so we didn't have cell phones, so I didn't know where in the rodeo he was. I get there, and so literally walking everywhere, it was dark out. I had no idea where he was. So I just stopped at other people's camps and just continued drinking as I'd look for him. And then I saw off out in the distance a silhouette from the fire of someone doing this. I thought, oh, there he is. He was way far away, a good acre or two. And I made it up there, and he's like, oh, you found me. I've been worried. Where were you? I said, I saw you scratching your arm, and I knew you were thinking, where the hell is Carrie at? I was supposed to be there like hours before. And then some of you did our Blumpkin Fests. Those were awesome. Thanks to Mern coming up with that term, and that movie. But it just still doesn't feel real. I had no intentions on being an old lady without him. So I love him and I miss him. I just can't believe it. But I love him and I will cherish his memories with happiness after today. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
When I moved in with Mike, Lauren was a toddler. His favorite song was Baby's Got Back. He had it on a VHS cassette or tape, and he kept it in the little cabinet below the TV. Well, Lauren got her hands on it, and she pulled it all out, and he was upset, but then got over it. But just what? No, it was like ripped. There was no fixing it. But that was just a little funny memory. There's lots of things that you had to learn that you didn't. He's gonna be missed. We were in a good place. He hosted my 40th birthday last year. Baked me a cake. He always baked me a cake. Just trying to process this. Thank you.
The last time I saw my dad in person, we went to Outback for my birthday, my 21st birthday, and he was telling me about how he got headaches when he drank, and I gave him crap because I was like, you drink Busch Light. I was like, you get a headache, first sip. Well, he was telling me he was gonna get Ciroc and drink that, and I just thought that was funny because he finally was gonna switch his beer, and I was so I don't. That was just the last time I saw him. That was funny to me. We just gave each other crap, and he was my best friend, and he's gonna be missed. But thank you guys for being here and sharing stories. And
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We really, really appreciate the support and helping us, with more memories of Michael. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, thank you for sharing. I think we have visitation till 4, so feel free to mingle about and keep sharing memories. I think we had at one time, 20 people that were viewing the live stream, so it's good to know that there's other people that, were here virtually and were able to be a part of it. So thank you again.